Lat item section B, item 6. Energy flow and ecosystem stability. A mountain ecosystem with a climax community was destroyed by a severe landslide after heavy floods. Bare rocky grounds remained, and the natural recovery process took 20 years. Table 7 shows a record of various organisms and other components of the ecosystem up to 20 years after the heavy floods. Table 7, showing the variation. The climbing squirrels feed on tree fruits and spend most of the time in trees, while rabbits feed on vegetation. The ecosystem is often disturbed by rampant soil erosion and animal grazing. Scientists also studied the changes in the two varieties of mosses in the ecosystem for a number of years, and the findings are shown in Table 8. Table 8. Population of varieties of mosses over time. Pause and analyze the table. Energy flow in the ecosystem. All these concepts are found the A-Level Self-Study Biology textbook. Get it now. It is both teacher and student friendly with notes and items plus their responses. There is a need to improve the productivity of the ecosystem. There is a need to improve the productivity of the ecosystem. Table 8. Population of varieties of mosses over time. Task. Part A. Analyze the changes in the population of different organisms and also the change in dominant vegetation in the ecosystem over the 20-year period. Part B. Devise justified ways to improve biomass of the mountain ecosystem. Part A. Analysis. We all know how to analyze. Vegetation changed from bare rock through mosses, grasses, and shrubs to forest, demonstrating primary succession. Mosses acted as the pioneer species by weathering the rock and adding organic matter, thereby forming soil and increasing the nitrate concentration. This enabled grasses and later shrubs to become established until the soil nitrate concentration reached 16.8 parts per million by year 20, supporting a stable forest climax community. Biomass increased from 0.5 to 186.7 units because larger and more complex vegetation possesses a greater leaf area for photosynthesis, enabling more carbon fixation. At the same time, the increasing nitrate concentration supports protein synthesis and plant growth, leading to increased primary productivity. Rabbits and squirrels were absent in year 3 because mosses provided little food or suitable habitat. Rabbits and squirrels appeared when grasses became established and their populations increased with the development of shrubs. By year 20, the forest provided seeds, fruits, and shelter for tree-dwelling squirrels. Consequently, herbivore populations increased as producer biomass increased. Wolves were absent in year 3, increased from 6 to 18 as rabbit populations increased, and then declined to 9 by year 20 because a greater proportion of the available prey consisted of squirrels, which live in trees and are less accessible to ground-hunting wolves. This reduced the effective availability of prey. Thick-walled mosses dominated initially, 962 versus 110, because the dry, exposed conditions favored reduced water loss. However, as soil moisture increased, thin-walled mosses grew more rapidly because less material was required to form their cell walls. Consequently, their population increased to 1,180 by year 20, illustrating natural selection. Part B. Biomass increased as soil nitrate concentration increased, therefore improving nutrient availability and reducing soil or vegetation loss should further increase biomass. Soil enrichment using compost or fertilizer increases nitrate availability for amino acid and protein synthesis in plants, thereby promoting plant growth. However, excessive fertilizer application may result in runoff, eutrophication, and soil acidification. Therefore, fertilizer should be applied carefully, with organic compost being the more sustainable option. Reforestation using native tree species accelerates progression to the highest biomass forest stage because trees increase photosynthesis, add nutrients through leaf litter, and stabilize the soil. However, young trees may fail to establish in poor soils. Therefore, reforestation is most effective when combined with prior soil improvement. Soil erosion control conserves nutrient-rich topsoil and nitrates, thereby supporting all other restoration measures. However, erosion control can be costly, and some ground cover species may compete with tree seedlings. Nevertheless, it is essential because nutrients cannot accumulate if soil erosion continues. Therefore, the most effective strategy is to combine all the measures in sequence: erosion control first, followed by soil enrichment, and finally reforestation, to achieve the greatest long-term increase in biomass while maintaining ecosystem stability. Thank you for watching.